Welcome to all of you all. And today we will be watching some exclusive jewels from Bonhams New York upcoming sale, which is scheduled for tomorrow. And with us is Director of Jewelry, Bonhams New York, who will take us through the exclusive lots. And I'm especially excited to see the Kashmir Sapphire.
I can't wait to show you guys.
So Bonhams was founded in the year 1793, and it's one of the largest and a most renowned auction house that offers jewelry, motor cars, antiques and arts. And they have around 40 jewelry auction in a year with 15 auction across US of A. And their worldwide representative team in 22 countries offers advices and valuation services. Look forward to seeing some exclusive jewels from your upcoming sale.
Of course. Well, as you mentioned, I think we're going to start with the cashmere.
Yes, please.
So I have it here. Hopefully this enables you to focus and to see it. The weight is 522. It has a couple of reports, the AGL and Goublin, and it's being called classic cashmere, which is obviously the most coveted name a cashmere stone can have. What's fab about this stone is that it is set in a Victorian mounting, and it really is a very, very special mounting, and it's a very special stone. It's gorgeous.
Lovely. And can you talk to us the significance of Kashmir Sapphire?
Oh, yes, of course. So the original mines in Kashmir were discovered in the late 1800s, and they were exhausted really very, very quickly as soon as they found all of these wonderful gemstones. So any Kashmir stone that you find on the market today is over 100 years old. There are no new productions coming, so it makes them all the more special. Most of the most coveted stones are unheated. I in fact have never seen a heated cashmere, and they exhibit this fabulous velvety texture, this cornflower blue that once you've seen a few stones are completely unmistakable. And what's wonderful about this is it is 100% a cashmere. You look at it and there's no doubt in your mind that this is a cashmere stone.
And you mentioned it's 5.22 carats.
That's right, yes.
And how rare is to find a stone of such big carat weight?
So over 5 carats is fairly rare. You know, obviously the larger you go, the even more rare it is. But to have a stone in this size, 5 carats, exhibiting all of the typical characteristics of cashmere is even rare. And like I said, for a lab to call it classic cashmere is probably the rarest of all. So that's really one of the most important aspects to consider when buying a cashmere stone.
That's lovely. Since you mentioned that you've never seen unheated Kashmir Sapphire stone, so talk to us about your career with gems and jewelry.
Oh wow! So well, I started off in the diamond business. I worked in Antwerp in Belgium for a long time, and during that time, it took me to Mumbai, where I spent 2 weeks buying diamonds, and it was a really, really incredible time for me, and sort of solidified my desire to work in the diamond and jewelry business. I remember vividly sitting, in probably the second to top floor of a skyscraper in Mumbai, and I'm buying diamonds, and one of the sellers handed me a parcel of 8,000 carats of 10 pointers, and I remember receiving it in my hands and just feeling. I don't even know how to describe it, but all those stones, all of those diamonds in one huge parcel paper, I thought, okay, I want to do this forever. It's an amazing experience. So, after that, I was offered a job in New York. I decided to come here. I fell in love with New York. I fell in love with the diamond and jewelry business in New York, and here I am at Bonhams.
Wow, that's an incredible journey. So next time now, hopefully, if we do make a trip to Mumbai anytime soon, we shall definitely catch up.
Absolutely. I'll hold you for that.
Yes. All right. So moving on, besides Kashmir Sapphire, let us see some more important jewelry pieces.
Sure. I have a lot of fabulous pieces lined up for you. The first thing I'm going to show you is our cover lot.
Yes, please.
And this is an 821. Oops, this is maybe better. An 821 DVS1 diamond. But I tell you what is very special about this is it's an old stone. So this stone itself is at least over 100 years old. And you can see that it's got old style faceting, big facets on the pavilion. It's got a big open curate. It's in a delightful mounting. We've dated it from circa 1910. And what is completely fabulous about this is that it's set horizontally. And I think that is such a contemporary thing to have done over 100 years ago. And it is still timeless and elegant today, probably as it was avant-garde at the time.
Lovely. And would you know the origin of this diamond, whether it's Golconda?
No, we don't have any additional information on the stone than this. We do know that it's been in, you know, a significant American family for a very, very long time. But sort of beyond knowing those few details, that's all we have of it.
All right. And now may I request you to please wear Kashmir Sapphire in one hand and the other spectacular diamond in the other, and let's admire the beauty of both the stones.
Of course. Let me just take my rings off so that I can show this to maximum effect. I just have to tell you that both these stones are loose. So the reason why I'm being a little bit more cautious than I would be otherwise is because they're in their mountings just with a little bit of wax. So.
All right. Lovely.
And I'd happily wear both of these every day, I think, if I was lucky enough to own them. Why not, right?
Lovely. We've never seen a diamond set horizontally. That's again so rare for a big diamond of 8 carats to be set horizontally.
Absolutely. And to have set horizontally so many years ago, I think is just wonderful. You know, it shows real insight in terms of design and longevity that I think is spectacular. So I am going to show you one of my most spectacular lots here.
Ooh, and that is those are stunning.
This fabulous pair of emeralds. They are 49 and 48 carats each. You can see they could be earrings. And they are Colombian, and they have minor traditional treatment to them. And, you know, it's very, very hard to capture the beauty of color of emeralds through the camera, but they're, I think, coming through pretty well, and they're spectacular.
They are indeed spectacular.
One other thing that's great about these is that, and I'm just gonna see if I can slot it in, is they originally come in these super cool clips. So there's one for each of them. And these clips were probably dated from the 60s, and they were probably worn as lapel clips. But I think whether they're earrings or clips, however you want to wear them, they're a truly spectacular pair.
Yes, please have you holding both of them as loose emeralds in your hand. You have to admire the beauty and the color of these emeralds.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Stunning. Look at the color. And what clarity are these?
You know, they're emeralds. They're definitely not completely clean. You can probably see a little bit, you know, with typical emerald inclusions in there, but they're very, very bright stones. They're relatively clean. And for their size, they're a beautiful quality.
How difficult and rare it is to find a pair so close to one another.
You know, it's very difficult, especially with emeralds. Any slight difference in color can have a huge impact on the quality of the pair. The same with the inclusions and, of course, the cutting style. I myself have not come across such a nice pair, so big and so well matched. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen very often, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You've shown us sapphire, you've shown us emerald. Now, do we have some ruby?
Oh, you read my mind. Here we go. So this is a 248 pigeon's blood ruby, and it's actually from Tiffany Co. Again, it's a very old ring, I think from 1910. The ring itself is signed, and it's very delicate. I'm going to put it on so you can see what it looks like on. The ruby has been certified as pigeon's blood, and for those of you who don't know, that is the most coveted color that you can get for a ruby, which really, really shows that it's as red can be. And it's a very lively stone. It's a very clean stone for a ruby, and it's got a lot of life to it. And it's hard to, you don't always have all of those attributes in a colored stone. You might just have the color, or you might have a clean crystal, but with this you have both, which is lovely.
And what origin is this ruby?
This is from Burma.
Whoa, man. So you have Kashmir Sapphires, you have Colombian emeralds, and there you talk about Burmese ruby, like the best of three gemstones.
Yes, jewelry connoisseurs alert. We've got some beautiful, beautiful pieces coming up for sale.
Lovely. And so talking about the sale, can you please talk to our audience about your auction? When is it scheduled for, and how can one view your entire catalog?
Of course. So it's an opportunity to show you my catalog here.
Nice.
It's, we made a big effort with the catalog. It looks fabulous. You can get your own digital copy of the catalog on our website. It's downloadable. You can also view the entire sale on our website, which is bonhams.com. You go to the jewelry section, you'll see our sale is up there. The sale is tomorrow, and it starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time in New York. You can bid online, you can bid on the phone, and you can leave absentee bids. So we're very easily contactable. We'd love for you to participate if there's something over the course of just now that tempts you.
All right, and now getting back to jewels, so we would love to see some more of your exclusive jewelry.
Well, we touched on white diamonds, cashmeres, Burmese rubies, and Colombian emeralds, and now I'm going to show you a colored diamond. So this is a beautiful stone. It's a 2-carat, fancy, intense, orangey pink. It's a VVS1 stone. And it's hard to see, I guess, through the camera, but it's got a fabulous color to it, and it is a great crystal. This diamond, this ring is alive with sparkle. And one thing that I find absolutely intriguing about this, aside from the stone itself, is that the side stones here are heart shapes, and I feel as though they're the little known wonder of the side stone world, because they're so chic, they're so understated, but they do such a great job in terms of showing off the center stone and making a beautiful ring.
Yes. Can you please help us with the size of the pink diamond?
Yes, it's a 2-carat.
Wow. So again, to have a pink diamond above 1 carat, that's considered to be very rare. And here we have a 2-carat.
Yeah, it's considered to be very rare, but what is very interesting about this stone is the fact that it's also a VVS1. So you've got this fabulous color. It's, the stone is just set into its mounting. There's nothing helping the color whatsoever. It's got a strong color in its own right. And it's a very, very clean and bright crystal. So you will see this from the other side of the room, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And now, if you don't mind, can you wear your Burmese ruby? Can you wear your sapphire if it's not of an issue? Can you wear your pink diamond and hold the emerald? And hold the emerald in your hand.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Be pretty careful here.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me just change fingers for the sizes of the rings. Okay, let me just do this first.
There you go. Lovely.
And then, just to put it all in context, so you can actually really see just how big the emerald is in comparison to the other rings.
Wonderful. But each one is so unique.
Oh, yes. I mean, each one of these pieces is, overflowing with personality. And that's what makes a great gem. It's got to have a style to it, and all of these really do.
And I must say that you really carry them off very well. So probably you should bid one of them for yourself.
I've definitely got my eye on one specific one. So we'll get to that one, my favorite, shortly.
So now moving on, what do we see?
Okay, so I have to start off with this little guy. So he is a kingfisher, and he's made by Cartier, and he is from the 1960s, and he's completely fabulous. You can see he's got this delightful opal tummy here. It's got these calibre sapphire and emeralds sort of a quiff and a ruby eye. And I think we all know that Cartier was very, very good at recreating the the expressions of animals and making them look as lifelike as possible, whilst also making them whimsical and fun and creative in terms of their color. And at the same time, the level of craftsmanship was, basically unmatched. And this little guy is a perfect example of that. And, this guy has a really fun story that you might enjoy hearing. So this is, the dream, I guess, of auction of any individual. A family here in the States went to a garage sale and they bought just an old filing cabinet, and one of the drawers was locked. And it took them a while to get around to finding a way to opening it. And when they did, they found a little brown envelope at the back, and here he was.
Wow.
So some crazy discoveries really do exist.
What is this happy fellow sitting on? Do we have like a gold wire of diamonds?
No, he is on a little gold branch with a diamond right at the end.
Got it. Yes.
He's probably thinking about his next meal. About to dive into a river and find a fish. But he's looking pretty good. Okay, what else do I have for you? So I'm going to start off with this. This is a VCA, and it's called a Passepartout. And VCA really started with this in the 1940s, and Passepartout refers to transformable jewelry. So that means jewelry you can wear in multiple different ways. Here, I'm just going to start off with probably the most simple and least interesting part of the bracelet. It's just gold, but it's VCA. It is as soft as silk. It's so tactile. You never want to sort of stop holding it or touching it. And it's got a little loop here, and on that sits this absolutely fabulous flower with these huge sapphires around the outside and rubies in the center. And you can wear it as a pin, or you can wear it as a pendant, or you can put it on the bracelet. So really a great example of a spectacular jewel that you can wear in many different ways. And the whole Passepartout was, is actually really creative. They wanted to produce it for women so that they could wear the style of jewelry that fitted with their mood. So I think that's wonderful. You wake up in the morning, or, in the middle of the afternoon, your mood changes, you can change your jewelry. I think that works for me.
Yes. And what caught my attention are these gold petals or leaves that we have. Are they matte gold? Because I can see some different gold texture probably.
Yeah, so they're all polished gold. But like you said, they're a little textured. Each leaf is textured actually like a leaf would be in real life. So it's a really fabulous, representation of what a flower would look like in real life.
Can you please hold the chain once again? Because I would love to admire the flexibility of the chain.
Yeah, it is so soft and flexible. Like I said, you just want to keep holding it. You want to keep touching it. It's as soft as silk when it's on your wrist.
Interesting. This chain probably must be from the retro period.
Yes. When did we date this? It's from the 40s, and that's actually when, not long after VCA created this whole sort of transformable jewelry, and it really took off. So it's from the late retro period. So I was going to leave this until later, but the next piece I want to actually put on and show you, which would involve me taking this off. And this probably brings us slightly into natural pearls, but this is a fabulous diamond Riviere necklace, and you can see it's got this natural pearl drop that is actually detachable. If in relation to my hands, you can see how big the pearl is. I don't think I need to tell you how fabulous diamond Rivieres, if I just cover it up, are without any extra adornments. But with this pearl drop, it's truly spectacular. I couldn't resist wearing this.
And it's something so delicate and so elegant, right? Like pearls and diamonds always add on to a beauty of any jewelry.
Yes, and I think, lots of people, I think, want something a bit more fancy, but actually take it back to something simple, a plain diamond necklace, if you can call it plain, and a
Yes,
plain pearl drop is so
pearls. Yes,
sophisticated, it's timeless, it's elegant, and, you could wear this to lunch, and then you could wear this to a dinner, and it's the same
interesting.
piece, not so different to the Passepartout transformable. Each of these three starbursts
Mm-hmm.
detach, and here we have two bracelets that they can clip onto. So you can
Mm-hmm.
wear the two bracelets with the starbursts on top of them, or you can wear them as clips.
All
Um,
right.
and actually, Queen Soraya of Iran had a very similar piece. Her piece had 5 starbursts. But these are
Interesting.
very, very rare pieces for Bulgari. I think maybe one, or if not one, 2 pieces were made. This has never come to auction before. It's been in the same family for a very long time. So it's a very, very special and rare piece that, we have the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to sell. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a most special opportunity for Bonhams.
Wonderful. And can you please hold the piece a little closer to the camera? We
Oh,
would love to
sure.
admire
There we go.
the starburst. Interesting. Wow.
So you can see all
And
of the detail, which is really, it's really, really, really fabulous. Each starburst has its own detail.
absolutely. And are these individual links which are held together?
Yeah, so these are individual metal links. There's no diamonds in the links, a double strand, and then it goes into the single strand to go around the neck.
Wonderful.
So, but it sits beautifully. So,
Yes, it does.
the strand is this is also very flexible, so it really goes around the
Hmm.
curve of your neck.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Okay. So, what would
Tell,
you like to talk about
yes,
next?
I have a question. Tell us that how does Bonham source these rare jewelry, from Kashmir sapphires to Burmese ruby to this Bulgari's spectacular necklace? How does a team go about hunting?
Well, it's not without its challenges on a good year, and in a challenging year like we've all had, it's even more difficult. So
Yes.
normally we would travel. Normally we have, a network of people. We have representatives. Speaking for myself in New York, we have a network of representatives in America, as we do throughout the rest of the world, who in turn have their own network. And most of the time, we're going to see people who have inherited jewelry. They don't quite know what to do with it. They might not know the value of it.
Mm-hmm.
Their descendants might not be interested in jewelry, so they want to settle their estate rather than just
Right.
leaving it to the next person completely unsettled. But a lot of it's about educating people. You'd be surprised at how little the average person knows about jewelry
Yes.
and how complex each piece is in terms of certificates, of origins, of enhancements, of history, of desirability, of
Wow.
rareness. And you have to
Right.
take all of those things into account. So we work with every individual, and take them through the process. Some people, want to do it yesterday. Some people need time. But it's
Mm-hmm.
really about educating them as to what their options are. And, auctions are a very transparent way of selling.
Yes.
So both for the buyer and the seller. And I think that appeals to very many people. If you want an international, buying base for your jewelry, an international auction house will take your piece around the world and show it to all of the interested parties out there, which is quite something.
Absolutely.
Not everyone can do that.
Gina just read my mind. She wants to see your earrings, which actually caught my attention as well.
Well, I use this opportunity as a valid excuse to wear what I wanted.
Why
So,
not? Of course.
of course. So these earrings are by Graff, and they're ruby
Interesting.
and diamonds. They have, for me, I'm quite strict about what I like in earrings, and for me, it's all about movement. And you can really see with these earrings that every little setting has its own movement that makes them very comfortable and pleasurable to wear, but also catches the light and moves with me.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually got quite a lot of Graff pieces in our sale, and
Mm-hmm.
these are actually one of the most affordable of the Graff pieces. we touched on the fact that Bonhams is very proud to offer these fabulous pieces like Kashmir Sapphires and Burmese rubies, which have a fairly high ticket item. But we also offer very reasonable and fabulous pieces of jewelry, which I have a tray to show you of. And these are one of them. And I think these are no reserve. So who knows what they'll go for, but they're really a huge look, and by Graff, and I couldn't resist. They're wonderful. I'm so glad you noticed them.
And if you don't mind, can you please remove them and please show them to us?
Here we go.
Are they very lightweight? Wow, they're so
Yeah,
stunning.
they're very light. And you know, I don't wear big earrings, and I certainly don't wear heavy earrings, and these are a delight to wear. This is the back mechanism. They're very soft. They're very secure. And you can see how open the setting is at the back.
Yes.
So, you know, all the light comes through, and they're, I don't know, they're probably more evening wear, but I think I would wear them every day. Why not?
Why not?
Exactly. Okay,
Yes,
I'm going
and
to keep them on if that's all right. I might
yes,
change
of
it
course.
but now I'll keep them on. Okay.
And do you have some historic jewels at the auction? Because most of the auction houses do always carry some historic pieces. So let's see, what does Bonhams have?
Sure. Well, we sort of went through a few of them with the Passepartout and the Bulgari, but one piece that we didn't talk about is this.
Interesting.
And this is David Webb, and you can see this is a fabulous piece of jade. It's called the Dragons Among Clouds. And this was probably the most important piece of jade that David Webb himself worked on in the 70s. And he actually worked on it only a couple of years before he passed away. So it makes it even more important. It is in the David Webb book. And it's a very interesting piece. And it was worn on the catwalk by Rachel Zoe to the Met Gala a couple of years ago. It's quite heavy. But I can tell you, you feel like royalty wearing it. You know, the stones are all cold. It's got a nice weight, and it's really quite fabulous.
And what do we have on the beads?
These are lapis beads, and then carved ruby. Carved rubies around here. We're interspersed with some diamonds and obviously beautiful gold detail.
You see the back side of this piece, please? Oh, that's so neat and so clean.
Typical David Webb. Really good job with the back, like you say, nice and clean, and you know, sits well against the chest. And it's just like I say, this, you know, this is a piece. I think there's a certain sense of style. Not everyone's going to love it, but I can tell you, whether you love it or not, it feels wonderful on, even for such a big piece. And that is all down to the craftsmanship.
Really spectacular.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And as you were talking, you mentioned that you also have some low budget jewelry. So let's talk about the low ticket price point jewels that you have. Sure.
Well, the first thing I'm going to start off with is this. And this is a Cartier bracelet. It's in at 5,500. It's cultured pearls, turquoise, and gold. And it's just absolutely delightful. It's very pleasant to wear. You can wear it, you know, you can dress it up, you can dress it down. And in at $5,500, it's really very attainable for many, many people.
And great craftsmanship.
Oh, it's so soft. It's so flexible. This is, you know, when you have these brand names, it's a pleasure to wear something. It doesn't sort of matter how much it is. It's made beautifully. You know, you can trust in that. And I'm going to show you now one of my favorite pieces. And that is a pair of Melorio earrings. And they just are so chic. And they sit up in the ear like this. Melorio is actually one of the oldest jewelers in the world, one of the oldest French jewelers in the world, and they made jewelry for Napoleon's family and actually a great deal of influential and important families in Europe. And these are a great example. I think despite their age, they are so contemporary and chic right now. They're just fabulous.
Yes.
These are in at 6,500. So again, very fairly priced. And then here I have a pair of Tiffany earrings, aquamarine and diamond, and these are actually in at no reserve. And they're absolutely lovely, just to show you what they look like on. Again, you've got, you know, the brand name Tiffany Co.
Yes.
So they're made very, very well. You can see the movement. The aquamarines are beautiful, and it's just a lovely pair of earrings. And for no reserve, you never know what might happen.
Right. So for the audience, can you please highlight what do you mean by no reserve?
Oh, so no reserve means that there is no minimum amount that they're going to be sold for. So let's say, you know, everything's going to have an estimate. So, you know, an estimate might be 3,000 to 5,000, but if there's no reserve, it means they could sell for 2,000, they could sell for 1,000, they could sell for $500. Wow. So generally lots, you know, lots that have no reserve get a lot of interest on them, but they really present an opportunity for people to get something at a very interesting price. It's not always guaranteed, and sometimes items with no reserve can go for crazy because so many people want them.
Exactly.
But it makes them an exciting lot. And you know, certainly these earrings, to have a pair of Tiffany aquamarine and diamond earrings in at no reserve probably means that there's going to be a lot of interest on
lots
this.
Of interest.
Yeah, lots of people will want them.
So do we have some more Graff, since you mentioned that you have quite a bit of Graff jewels? And
Sure.
I would love to see some more natural pearl jewels if you have.
Absolutely. Well, with Graff, we talked a little bit about pink sapphires, and I set aside some pink sapphires to show you because we actually have a lot of pink sapphires in this sale. And one of my favorite pieces are these Graff cluster pink sapphire earrings that seem to be giving me a little bit of trouble getting on, but I'll show you up close. They're really awesome. And great color, great cluster. And I'll see if I can just show you what they look like on. There we go. And sort of great everyday wear. And the pink is a really rich pink. We also have this fabulous Graff pendant, pink sapphires, with diamond halos around each. And again, really beautiful, rich pink color.
Yes.
And a great style. You know, this is something that you could wear every day, or you could dress up and down as you see fit. But a really beautiful piece. On the pink sapphire vein, we have this fabulous 10 carat pink sapphire, and it's mounted by Cartier. And I have to tell you, this stone is amazing. I don't know how much you can see, but it is absolutely alive. It's got a beautiful, rich color. Of course, the fact that it's in a fabulous Cartier mounting definitely helps. But it's 10 carats. You don't often see such large, well-cut pink sapphires, especially not, you know, in a signed mounting. And it's a really, really beautiful piece. You can see in context how big it is. So it's definitely a big stone.
Wow. So this time you have quite a bit of pink sapphire lots from Graff. From Graff and from the other signed jewelry houses.
And here we have a Bulgari ring, a purplish pink sapphire. Here we have a VCA ring with a pink sapphire in it. So there's definitely, and I still have some even more pink sapphire pieces. I have a beautiful bracelet and so on. So there's lots of pink sapphire opportunities that actually go perfectly with your dress.
Yes. So I was just wondering, why so much of pink sapphire? I mean, are they very popular? Are they very rare? What's the idea behind pink sapphire?
So you know, jewelry and gemstone colors go in trends, and there's not necessarily a rhyme or reason behind those trends. For example, right now, aquamarine is a very hot color in terms of stone, colored stone, and I think pink sapphire is now about to take the lead and be right up there with aquamarines. I think, you know, it's a bright, strong color.
Yes.
I think people right now are looking for some bold colors, something a little bit different, something a bit sort of happy And yeah, and bright, and that's what they
Yes.
get. Who doesn't love a big rich pink
Wow.
stone? And I don't,
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't think it's anything more complicated than that, other than that people are just looking for some great color in their life, and pink sapphires are the hot item at the moment.
Guys, all of you are looking for pink sapphire. You all have to bid on for the Bonhams New York sale auction because they have
Yes, take a
loads and
look.
loads of pink sapphire. That's interesting. And now my favorite natural pearls. Let's see what you have in natural pearls.
Okay, so you saw my fabulous necklace that I was
Yes.
looking at before. Here I have a really beautiful natural
Oh,
pearl ring, bypass ring, obviously with some diamonds on it. And it's a huge look. You can see the stones
it's a
are
huge.
the stones
Yes.
and the pearls are fairly big.
Yes.
And
Wow.
both of them are natural pearls, and it's a very, very interesting piece. I like that the pearls aren't matching colors, they're opposing colors,
Yes.
which is, I don't know, it just makes for a slightly more interesting ring. And it's made very well, it sits beautifully on the hand, and it's
Yes.
a really stunning piece.
Yes. It
We
is.
also have some strands of natural pearls. I'm not going to put them
Wow.
on because we've got quite a few, but
Yes.
some really lovely strands. And one that's actually quite rare is, look how long this is. It's a double
Wow.
strand of natural pearls, and there's a lot of them, and they're graduated, and you know, I'm trying to think, you can even see how long it is.
Yes. Interesting.
You can
Yes.
see there, but it's a really, really beautiful piece. And for any of those of you who really do love natural pearls, this is an opportunity to get a lot of them in one lot. So we have 4 strands of natural pearls, including that one in our sale, together with the pearl drop on the necklace I showed you, and this fabulous ring as well. So.
Wonderful. You have the best of all the gemstones, from ruby sapphires, emeralds, natural pearls, diamonds, pink sapphires, and also, of course, those the beautiful historic pieces that you showed us. What is your favorite? Because I'm sure it might be so difficult and challenging for you to just select one from these massive collection.
You would have thought it would be difficult, but I have to say for this sale, it was not difficult for me. And my favorite, without question, let me just hold these
Oh, those are interesting.
are these ruby and diamond clips. They're really
Yes,
quite big. They're late
yes,
deco, early retro. I think the scrolls on the side are completely fabulous. The
absolutely.
stones are beautiful. They're all Burmese rubies. They are not signed. The craftsmanship is fabulous, and I think they should be signed, but they're not. And I just think they look great. Such a
Wonderful.
stylish look. I don't know whether someone would have fun making them
Exactly.
earrings. They
Earrings
would be quite the
or a
look.
pendant.
They actually have pendant hooks, so you could
Oh,
absolutely wear it as a pendant, but they're really special. And I haven't
they
ever,
are.
I haven't seen clips this size with this detail, with this quality of rubies. And for some reason, they speak to me. So these are, without doubt, my favorite lot for no real reason other than I just love
Great choice.
them. Thank you.
Have any more of your lots that you would love to show us?
Sure. So one of the things that we also have, you probably got an idea of this, but we have a lot of different brands, name
Yes.
brands on sale. Some that you'll have heard of, some that are a little bit more mysterious. And one piece that I wanted to start off with is this. And this is a piece by Ostier, who was actually a female designer in the 30s, I want to say. And she's fairly unknown, and her pieces don't come up that often.
Wonderful.
But she's known for using these fabulous straight lines, and then if you look at the top part,
Yes.
together with these soft curves and these straight baguettes with these, round, brilliant diamonds. And this is a very striking brooch. You can see It's really
Yes,
quite big. It makes a great statement.
it
And
does.
very, very rare as a designer. You don't see these
Wow.
pieces come up for auction often, and really wonderful that it's, you know, by a female. There weren't that many female jewelry designers back then, and she really pushed boundaries, which is fun.
It reminds me of a tiara place on the
Yeah.
top, it just looks, yeah, the look of
Absolutely,
it.
yes. It's almost like a crown or a tiara sitting on the
Yes.
top, very soft with these very angular triangles at the bottom. It's a sort of a beautiful juxtaposition of shapes. Okay, what else do we have? We have this fabulous ring. I have
Oh,
to.
I love this. Yes.
This is carved emeralds and diamonds. This is
Mm-hmm.
Schlumberger for Tiffany. And you can
Mm-hmm.
see the shape of the emeralds is, you know, sort of kind of iconic for Schlumberger with the acorn motif.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big ring. There is no doubt
Yes.
about that. But typical Schlumberger, it is so comfortable. The craftsmanship is beautiful. And the attention to detail on the craftsmanship. Each carved emerald has a little diamond sitting at the
Wow.
top of it here. These are actually quite big stones around here. And despite being quite big, it just sits very snugly. And is a beautiful example of both his work and his design. See what else we have. So this is a diamond bracelet by Cartier. And what's interesting about this is that it's, you know, it's probably from the Belle Epoque era. So it's pre-Art Deco. And actually finding pieces of jewelry that are in good
Yes.
condition from that time is very rare indeed. It's got three bigger stones set in it. And this center stone is actually a type
Wow.
2A diamond. They're
Wonderful.
over a carat, and you know it's one of those stones. I have to say, when this bracelet came in, nothing was certified, and I took one look at that center stone, and I said, "There's no way this is not a Type 2A diamond." And for
Wonderful.
those of you who don't know what a Type 2A diamond is, it's the most chemically pure in terms of
Yes.
carbon of diamonds out there, and you get this sort of very striking white clear color from it that is quite unlike any other diamond. Even if it's a D color, the highest color, if it's type 2A as well, it's got this clear color. And a type 2A doesn't need to be a D. It could be D, E, or F, but it has something really special about it. And
Mm-hmm.
so again, this bracelet has quite the most lovely movement. Each panel,
Right.
it's so old, it's in fabulous condition. The signature is there, there's no doubt about it, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
truly lovely piece.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it's type 2A, and of course, this is from the pre-Art Deco period. What cut are these diamonds in? Are they old mine cut, European cut, or they've been cut in brilliant cut?
So they have the big open facets,
Yes.
large facets and open culettes of an old cut. The center stone, I think, is a cushion, and the two stones on either sides are ovals.
It's
And so they're sort of they're going to be, I guess, not technically old mine cuts, probably more in the
right.
transitional stage, but they've got these big open facets and culettes that
Right.
really show you that they're a stone of age. Actually,
Eight.
not dissimilar to that first big diamond I showed you, the
Yes.
821. You know,
Yes.
it's something that's very striking, and that they're old stones. They might not be
Lovely.
cut to symmetrical perfection as stated by the GIA, but they have something really special about them. What else do we have? So this is a Van Cleef piece, and
Oh.
obviously it's a big flower,
Yes.
and it is something fabulous. You know, it's a really big piece. Each petal, is sort of created on its own with lots of diamonds all around it. The attention to detail is magnificent. The setting work is, it's just alive with sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the VCA
Yes.
typical, you look at it and you know
No, it's
where it's
VCA.
from. Exactly. And it's
Absolutely.
a really, really fabulous piece.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us about the setting of the white diamonds. How have they been set? Is it just pavé setting or it's a classic VCA setting?
No, so this is pave setting. Everything's, you know, each stone is set with its own set of prongs, but it's set into the metal, even though it's prong set and very closely, so that while you
Wonderful.
can identify clearly each diamond within its own setting, you don't really see anything in between the
Yes.
diamonds. And this is
Yes.
something that all of these big houses, it really makes them stand out in terms of their craftsmanship. It's not as though there's no metal, you just don't see any of the metal. And
Yes,
you can see
absolutely.
the diamonds individually, which is really spectacular. Probably one of my last pieces here is a pair. I'll have to sadly take my pink sapphire earrings off, but it's okay.
So you've had a wonderful morning. You've had
this
a
has been
wonderful
great.
morning of trying on such amazing jewels.
Yes, if we could do this tomorrow, same time, same place, I'd be happy.
Sounds like a plan.
So these are Cartier, and they're
Wonderful.
little floral design. But again, what I love about these earrings is how they sort of go up the ear, which is very contemporary for today's style, but thoroughly sort of a new idea, however many years ago. And I find these to be very sophisticated, but actually also very simple. And in many ways, I think that is one of, you know, the beautiful things about jewelry that stands out. You don't, you know, it's got to be a good balance of everything.
Absolutely.
And these diamonds earrings really
Perfect example.
yeah,
Yes.
perfect example of that.
Great.
There you
So we are
go.
almost close to 1 hour's time, and time just flew by so fast, admiring all these lovely lots at the Bonhams auction, which is scheduled tomorrow. So for our audience, there was a question asking about the prices. You can talk to us. How can people get more details about the lots, the prices, and about, how can they go about bidding at the auction, which is scheduled tomorrow?
Oh, sure. So the best way is to get in contact with the New York Bonhams Jewelry Department. I'll give you our email. It's jewelry, spelt the American way, JEWELRY.US at bonhams.com. And you can request specific lots, additional photos, condition reports, certificates. That is your way to contact us if you want to get set up to bid. You can also contact me through Instagram. I'm at Caroline's Carrots. I'd be happy to help you. You can peruse everything that's for sale on our website. If you go to the sale, it's called New York Jewels. It will be up on the first page because the sale is tomorrow. And when you see a fabulous diamond on the front cover, you'll know you're in the right place. And we can get you set up nice and quickly. We understand that there's distance involved for many of you. So a lot of our clients request videos and photos, so we're open to doing that. Pieces being worn, pictures of the front, of the back, of detail. And we can, if you want to speak to a specialist for more information, we're available via text, email, phone, and whatever works best for everybody. But we'll try and make it happen for all of you. We've got less than 24 hours to go now.
That sounds very interesting. And guys, I have also shared the link in my bio. So just swipe up, and from my page, you will directly come to the Bonhams catalog. Wonderful to have you and to see these spectacular jewels. So here's a lot of gratitude to you and the entire team at Bonhams who's helped us curate this wonderful chat.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to be here, and I hope everyone enjoyed this as much as I did. And thank you to you and your team. And I don't know, hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yes. All the best. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.